Hi everyone, my name is Monica Batula. I am a senior product manager on Windows Autopatch team. On this team, I own quality updates and feature updates management, all the way from IT admin controls, monitoring, reporting. I also look at new content and updates onboarding onto Windows Autopatch, specifically quick machine recovery and some other contents like .NET Framework updates. I'm very excited to be here today to talk to you all about quick machine recovery controls on Windows Autopatch. Before we get into the core of the content, I wanted to give you all a quick agenda, an overview of what we will be covering today. In the first section, we will be talking about overviews of a couple products and services from Microsoft. We will be covering Windows Autopatch, Windows Resiliency Initiative, and Quick Machine Recovery. For those of you who are familiar with these products already, this will be a quick recap. And for those of you who are hearing this for the first time, this will be a quick 101 to bring you up to speed. Once we are done with that, we will jump into the core of what we'll be going to talk about today, which is quick machine recovery controls in Windows Autopatch. And we will cover IT admin controls, reporting, and alerting as part of that. So let's get started. First up, we will talk about Windows Autopatch. All right, let's get started by talking about what is Windows Autopatch. In the most simplest term, it is a Microsoft service that will help you modernize and automate Windows Update Management. Windows Autopatch is available as an enterprise product. That means it will be available with the E3+, A3+, F3, and Business Premium licenses. Within the Autopatch service, you will be able to manage quality updates, feature updates, drivers and firmware updates, and Office all under a single service. You will have consolidated workflows, and you can set up policies to streamline your update management rather than the experiences being fragmented. Within the service, we also have a feature called as Autopatch Groups. And in a simple way to explain this is Autopatch Groups will help you create a hierarchy of devices to orchestrate gradual rollout or ring-based deployment. You can create a finance group, for example, and you can have multiple rings within the finance group to schedule a ring-based gradual rollout of a particular update type. Now, for each of these rings, you can distribute devices, and we have multiple options or ways in which you can do that. We have a assigned group concept where you can pin a group of devices to a particular ring, or you can create a pool and dynamically randomly distribute devices into different rings based upon percentage assignments. In simplest terms, Autopatch service is a service that will help simplifying patching, strengthen security, and free your IT teams to focus on what matters the most. I also do want to call out the key outcomes that we try to achieve using the Windows Autopatch. First one is make devices more secure. Autopatch always have Windows updates defaults, so updates are applied automatically where applicable. However, we truly believe that IT admins and customers are in full control of their tenant. So you can go and customize the defaults at any point of time. You can use custom control options available in the product. We also have zero-day controls such as expedite available within Windows Autopatch. The goal of the service is also to help you be more productive. Like I mentioned before, you can create an Autopatch group hierarchy, and you can reuse that for different update types rather than recreating that for different content. Last but not the least, we also have reporting available, and we have summary level reports which will give you the deployment data at a high level tenant level for your device fleet, or you can dig deeper into device level reporting to kind of understand what is happening at a device level and how the deployment is progressing. That's about Windows Autopatch. Let's move on to the next topic that we want to talk about today, which is Windows Resiliency Initiative. Now, one thing I do want to call out before getting into this is a huge area by itself that we can do a full session on this, but I'll try my best to keep it at a high level. So this is an initiative which was announced at Ignite 2024. And to give you a brief history of why we started this is we learned that anytime there is a change, devices were prone to incidents. And these changes could be across OS, apps or drivers, or even process changes or changes with the user behavior if there are new behaviors. With the recent investment that is going on in the security space and in the AI space, the number of changes that are coming in are increasing, and invariably, the number of incidents that could happen to a device would also increase. The goal of the Resiliency initiative is to provide a set of tools to prevent, manage, and recover in case of these incidents. Our goal is to strengthen Windows, make it more resilient, and we're talking about all forms of Windows, whether it is a laptop, a data center, or Windows 365 Cloud. Like I mentioned before, the initiatives in this project is categorized into three different buckets. There are projects which are focused more towards the prevention, then there are focused on the management side, and there are tools that will help recover if something unexpected were to happen in the device. The focus of this session would be mostly on the recovery piece, specifically on quick machine recovery. There are other recovery tools available as well, such as point-in-time restore or Intune recovery environment. If you're interested, please do take a look. I will have the link to the documentation in the end of the presentation. So with that said, let's dig a little bit deeper into quick machine recovery and understand what it is. In a most simplified manner, quick machine recovery is a way to apply targeted fixes for mass-scale outages. So whenever there is a global failure which is causing a boot critical incident, Microsoft builds a fix. And when the Microsoft build is available, to the enabled devices, we deploy the fix using the Windows Update channel. And if the device is able to take the fix, it'll be remediated into the main Windows OS again. This was first publicly released in July 2025, and it is available for Windows 11 version 24H2 onwards. This was, if I believe correct, one of the first recovery tools that we introduced. And like I mentioned, this is at a high level recovery when the scale is larger and when Microsoft has a fix available for that. I also want to give you a high level overview of how the quick machine recovery flow looks like on the client or on the device. When the boot critical issue happens, the device tries to reboot. The first screen that you see on the left here is device trying to boot into the main OS. If the device attempts to reboot and it fails twice, that is when it enters the Windows recovery. A device in Windows recovery could be configured in two ways. Either when it can be pre-configured to automatically search for solutions when they're available, or it can be pre-configured to manually search for recovery solutions when it enters Windows recovery. Once the fix is available from Microsoft, if the automatic option has been selected, then the end user has to do nothing. The device will be able to take the fix. Step 3 will be omitted and it will directly take the fix and will be remediated. However, if the manual option is selected, where the user wants to manually click on the fix or the option that is available, they would see something like step 3 here, where quick machine recovery will be available as one of the recovery options. The user will then decide to click on the quick machine recovery option, and once that is done, the device will be offered the fix, after which it will be able to deploy and then recover and remediate into the main OS. One thing I do want to call out is this is not a comprehensive workflow. This is just a illustrative snapshots to kind of show you the main steps in the flow. There are a lot more steps in between these when it comes to actual experience on the device. Now, with that said, let's jump into the main topic that we are going to talk about today, which is quick machine recovery in Windows Autopatch. Within Windows Autopatch, our aim is to put IT admin in full control when it comes to QMR, all the way from enabling QMR on the devices to approving a particular fix, to monitor and to report how the fix is going, and if needed, schedule a gradual rollout. This feature is currently in private preview. Towards the end of the presentation, you will see the participation info. If you are interested in participating, do reach out and I can set you up. The goal here with Autopatch is we want to provide a single place where you'll be able to manage the recovery fixes along with the other updates. Moving on to the admin controls. This is a proactive step. This is what you could do before a global boot critical outage happens, where you can create a quality update policy to configure QMR. The screenshot that you see here is how the experience looks like. In the update settings step, you will be able to create the quick machine recovery configuration. You'll be able to set between automatic approval or manually approval. You will also have an option to set deferral in this step. The deferral will help you to stage a gradual rollout if you want to have a gradual rollout for a test group of devices compared to the rest of your devices. Once the policy is created, this flow shows how or what's going to happen when a global boot failure incident actually occurs. When the issue occurs and the QMR fix is available from Microsoft, you will be able to see the fix on the Manage Quality Updates blade. That is the screenshot that you see on the left side on the screen here. You will see Quick Machine Recovery as one of the option or releases that is available to you. If all your policies are set to automatically approve for QMR, then no action is needed. Under the approval status, you will be able to see the status as automatically approved. But if in your tenant there is at least one policy that needs a manual review, you will see the status as needs review. You will be able to click on the approval policy link here to open a fly-in pane, which will look like something very similar to what you see on the right-hand side here. This is a fly-in pane, which will show you all the list of policies that is deploying the QMR fix. For policies that are automatically approved, you will see the approval status, but for those that needs review, you will see these corresponding status. On this step, you can either choose to approve a single policy or bulk approve multiple policies. The goal here is you can monitor how the deployment is happening for one of the rings or one of the policies, and based upon the result, you can choose to bulk approve the remaining policies in your tenant. Talking about monitoring, we also have reporting available in Windows Autopatch for quick machine recovery. Admins can monitor devices' remediation status for the deployed QMR fix. The screenshot that you see here is how the report will look like. On this report, you will be able to see both tenant level details or aggregates of how the QMR fix is being deployed to all the devices or all the fleet in your tenant. Or you can also choose to look at the detailed device level report. For the tenant aggregates, the report will show you what is the list of impacted devices. Out of those, how many are remediated, how many are in progress, and how many are still in boot failure state. Coming to the device level report, here is where you will be able to see for individual impacted device, what is the QMR status? Has it been remediated? What is the QMR fix that is being targeted? And what is the policy that is actually deploying this particular fix to the device? You'll also be able to see a bunch of other information on the report. And like all other Autopatch reports, this report can be searched, sorted, and you can export the data for all the devices from this report using the export option. The last thing that I want to cover today is talk about alerts. Imagine a situation where a boot failure incident happened and Microsoft is working on the fix. Now, it might take some time for Microsoft to work and come up with the fix and provide that via Windows Update. We do not expect IT admins to come back every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes and check if the fix is available or not. Autopatch alerts is a notification mechanism which we will use to let the IT admins know that the fix is available from Microsoft and we are waiting for your approval. The screen that you see on the left-hand side is how the Autopatch alerts page will look like. This will include other alerts in addition to QMR. When an Autopatch alert is available, it will tell you that a quick machine recovery update is available and we are waiting for your review. You can click on the alert. You will have description about the alert, and also we will have the steps that you need to take to go and approve the fix so that your devices can start taking the QMR fix and be remediated. Quick side call out. This alerts framework is part of the bigger Autopatch update readiness feature, which is also currently in preview. I believe there is also a tech takeoff session on it. So if you're interested to know more about what is the additional reporting that we are building on update readiness and alerting, do check that out. And if you're interested in participating in the preview for the update readiness, please do reach out and we can help you onboard to that as well. All right, so that was a bunch of information that we wanted to share today. Like I said, we spoke about a bunch of different topics, starting from Autopatch, Windows Resiliency Initiative, QMR, and QMR controls in Windows Autopatch. Here are a couple learn more links that you can go visit if you're interested in learning more about any of these products or services. You can learn about the different Windows Resiliency Initiative, or you can learn a little bit more about how the different configurations available in Quick Machine Recovery, or know more about how you can manage updates using Windows Autopatch. If you're interested in participating in private preview and want to get hands-on and experience and try out how all of these features that we spoke about today look like in a tenant, please do reach out. Here is my email ID. Reach out to me and I can set you up with a tenant so that you're able to try out the functionality. That brings us towards the end of the content that we have for you all today. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope you had some good takeaways or some learnings from this presentation. We also have a bunch of other interesting topics and presentations scheduled as part of the Tech Takeoff series. Do check them out. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.